guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. So in today's video, I'm going to be sitting here answering some questions you guys have all sent in regarding my new job. But I thought it would be kind of fun to talk about that while I count all of the money that I made when I was working there in Chicago. So really quickly, recently I've noticed a lot of new subscribers the past couple of days and like new people commenting and whatnot. I did think that I needed to catch you guys up. I actually don't live in Chicago, so I actually live here in my house, which is in Utah. And me and my boyfriend were only in Chicago for a couple of months for his work, and so I just thought that I would try out at the club while I was there. So now that we're back at home, I haven't been dancing. So really quickly, I thought I should let you know that I recorded this video shortly after we got back from Chicago, and this was at the end of October. So if you've kept up with my videos, then you will know that I actually have been able to travel back a couple of times to work for the past couple of months. So I was able to go back for a whole week in November, a whole week in December, and I will be going a full week in January as well. So I would like to just stress again that this money that I will be counting in this video was money that I had made when I was first there. So sorry that this video is very out of date. I've been meaning to post it, but it's taken me some time to finish the editing. All of the money that I'm about to count today is the time span from the time that I auditioned, which is, I want to say it was end of September, and then we came back home before Halloween. So it wasn't even a full month, I would say, because I didn't work every single day and I didn't work every single weekend. Unfortunately, I don't know how many days exactly I was working, but I just know that it wasn't as much as a month. It was a little bit less than that. But anyways, I'm gonna count the money, and so the reason I have all of the cash still is because when I was there, they didn't have my bank over there, and I didn't want to just go find another one. And then honestly, as I kept working more and more nights, I would get tired and I would get lazy to go take my money to the bank. So everything that I have is all of the money that I made while I was there. So with having all this money in the apartment, me and my boyfriend were kind of sketched out, and we thought, what if somebody else, like what if one of the neighbors know what I do and tries to break in and take all that money, you know? So we decided to hide it, and this is what we came up with. So we have a box of oatmeal, we have a box of hamburger helper, a little box of honey bunches of oats. Basically the rest of it is all cereal. And then we just kept this in the, what is it called? In like the kitchen cabinet things. A box of Raisin Bran. So I guess I'm just gonna get right into it, and we'll start with the first question, which someone said, what do I do? So if you're still kind of confused about what I do, I was stripping at a gentleman's club in Chicago. So if you meant for me to be a little bit more specific about what I do at the job, you could either be on the main stage, people could come up and just tip you. On busy nights, they would have two different girls on that stage, so on each pole, if it was super busy or if they threw a lot of money, they would just like split the tips between the two girls. So not only was there main stage, but there was lap dances. So they had a separate room where you would walk in, and it was just a bunch of chairs side to side with curtains dividing each chair, and you could go and give lap dances there. On regular nights, it was $30 per song. Thursdays, they had a special where it was $10 per song, and Sundays, it was $20 per song. So it would get very, very busy for sure on Thursday nights. So it was like quick money, because you would literally walk into the dance room, give a dance, and you would walk out, and there's like a whole line of guys lined up to get dances just because they were so cheap. So as soon as you're walking out, immediately someone else would grab you, and so you were just like kept busy back to back to back doing dances all night long. So it was really, I wouldn't say easy to make money that night, but you didn't have to like push for it. People just wanted dances automatically. But it was harder that night because you were constantly kept busy dancing the entire time, and it would get very tiring. Those nights I would change dresses halfway through the night because I was sweating. I felt like I smelled because I was just so like, you know, kept busy all night long. Another opportunity to make money there was to sell champagne rooms. So basically champagne rooms are, you would be in a private room, you guys would be by yourselves, it would be like a nice little, I don't know, fancy looking booth couch thing. You would get a bottle of champagne. So in the champagne rooms, you could be in there for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour. All of those rooms cost a different amount. Other ways you can make money was just by sitting and talking with people. One night that they played a fight in the club, one of the guys walked up to me and some other girl, and he gave us both $5 if we could just come and sit with them, just so that he has some company. So we're like, sure, why not? Like, we're just standing here, like, I'd rather sit. But there were other girls in there who said like, oh, this guy tipped me like $200 just for sitting and talking with him. And I thought to myself, like, what the heck? No one ever tipped me no $300 for sitting with them, or $200 or whatever it was. So the next question is your club full nude? No, my club was not full nude. Honestly, I don't think that I could do full nude. I just feel like it's, I don't know. I would feel uncomfortable being, you know, all out. But I don't judge anyone who does that. I just don't think that I could personally do that myself. Then the next question is, how were the girls you worked with? So the girls that I worked with were amazing. I didn't think it was going to be like this at all. I went in thinking that it was going to be super competitive. I thought that the girls were going to be super rude, but everybody there was so freaking nice. Honestly, all of the girls there help each other out. It was so nice how they would do that. When I was on stage dancing, like girls that were sitting with their customer who they're trying to get money from, they would be like watching me and be like, oh my gosh, like she's so cute, like you should tip her. And I just thought, like, what? Like, me? Like, why are you trying to help me get money? Like, girl, do you get your own money? I wasn't mad about it. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna return the favor for sure. So the next question is, do you do OnlyFans? No, I do not do OnlyFans. Again, like I can't do a full nude club. I wouldn't feel comfortable someone seeing, you know, all of me. That's just really personal, and also I feel like I would have to act a little bit more. Like whether it was like photos or videos or anything like that, I feel like it wouldn't be authentic, and I can just see right through my fakeness, and I don't know if I feel comfortable doing that. Also because when I'm in Chicago, I don't know anybody there. Like, they're all strangers, and at the end of the night, they go home and I go home. They don't get my info, they don't get my number, they don't get anything. Like, that's it. Like, that's where it ends. With OnlyFans, they always have like my social media. Well, I guess I don't have to tie the two together, but I just feel like they always see me, like, you know, all of me. They could take screenshots, they could even like use another phone to take photos and keep them and share them with their friends. Like, I don't really like the fact that they will always have a piece of me. Next question, will you be stripping in Utah? No, I will not be stripping in Utah because I feel like the money's not going to be as good here. I feel like Utah's clubs are much smaller than the one that I worked at in Chicago, and they don't have champagne rooms there, so that's like a big way that you can make your money. And if they don't have that, I don't know what the lap dances are like here. They might be around $30 or $20, I'm not sure, but I just feel like the money wouldn't be the same. Plus, I don't know how I would feel about seeing people that I know, or people that know, I don't know, my family or my friends or anything like that. So, I don't know. I don't think I'll dance here in Utah. What is the range of money that can be made? So, that's really hard to say. It kind of just depends on the dancer. So, for example, I knew girls there who would go in like one of the weekdays and they made $0. So obviously they made some by like doing stage and doing a couple of dances, but it was so slow, there wasn't that many people, like that's all the money that they made. And so at the end of the night, you tip out $15 to the house mom, $15 to the DJ, and then you have to tip out for the house fee, which really depends on what time you got there. I think if you got there before 7, it might have been $10. I would always get there around 9 p.m. Oh wait, no. I had to be like checked in before 9 p.m. So my fee was $35. I think if you got there later, it could be up to like $50 or $75 for house fee. So you pay for that, and then you pay the floor hosts. Floor hosts are the securities, bouncers, you know, whatever you want to call them, that's them. They're the ones who are counting your lap dances that you do, and per lap dance, I think they would keep $4. So if you did 4 lap dances all night long, they would keep $16. So at the end of the night, you would have to pay however many dances you did. Oh, and then valet. There's valet, which I think it was like $5 or $6. Anyways, so after tipping out, you could end up with no money at all because you gave everybody all their money and then you didn't make enough to keep any for yourself. So one of the girls told me she made $0 one night, and I'm like, wow, she was there for hours and she made $0. Like, that sucks. That really, really sucks because it's not easy. It's not easy to be walking around in those heels, like dancing on your feet all night long, and then to make no money at the end of the night. So that's really, really horrible. The least amount of money that I made personally was my first night working. I think it was $290 something, almost $300. So that was the least amount of money that I made, and then the most amount of money that I made was $1,000. And then in between that, some nights I would make $500, other nights I would make $800. So it just kind of like would depend. Like I said, it depends on the dancer. So some of the girls there were really good at selling those champagne rooms. I know they would get a couple a night, and I was like, that's crazy. I don't know how they would do that, but they did. So it just kind of depends on how good you are at selling champagne rooms, selling dances, managing your time. A lot of girls there had like watches, and they would keep track of how long they were talking to a customer. They would keep track of how much money they made in an hour, and they had like goals. Have you met Christina Villegas? So I actually did get to meet Christina. So basically she's the reason I even thought about actually stripping. Like, my entire life it was always a thought I had in my head, but I never really like went through with it until it was like 2 years ago, I think, is when I started watching her videos. I binged all of them, and I thought, I need to do this. I actually auditioned last year for a strip club here in Utah. I didn't get hired, but in a way it's kind of good because, again, now I feel like I wouldn't have made as much money. And when my boyfriend got the opportunity to work in Chicago this year, I'm like, what are the odds? Like, Christina is the reason I wanted to do this. Christina is in Chicago, and so I thought this is like so meant to be. And the fact that I was able to start out at the club that she would work at, I thought that was crazy. I thought, I don't know, it was a sign, and I just thought, I have to do it, I have to do it. So while being there, Christina would be in the back room a couple of times. She would just be sitting there, like either recording a video or, you know, doing something. And so I got to see her a couple of times back there. Okay, so it is a long night. I'm just taking a quick break in the back, you know, here with the house moms working so hard. Oh my god, I love them. They do so much. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Yay,
they do everything.
Her channel.
I did want to say that she is as sweet and as humble as she comes off in her videos. Like, when I met her, I thought she was going to be completely different. No, she is exactly the same. She is so nice, and I tried so hard not to fangirl. But Christina, if you are watching this, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. You didn't have to do that. That was so sweet of you, and I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Moving on, what's the hardest thing about stripping? So I would have to say is keeping a positive attitude. I know that sounds dumb, but it really did affect you whether you made money or not. So there were some nights where I don't know, I would get there at like 7 p.m. and from 7 to midnight I would had made nothing. I probably sold like one dance, I got a couple of tips on stage, and that's it. And so obviously I'm like, wow, I'm making nothing. I've been here this whole time, I've been busting my ass, and nothing, no money. And so you would really start to feel down. You would start to feel like you don't look good. I don't know, you would feel really crappy about yourself. So you would feel like you just wanted to sit and you didn't want to be bothered and you didn't want to go and talk to people and like make more money. You didn't want to sell more dances. You just felt like you just wanted to sit and chill. So it's really, really hard to keep a positive attitude and to think it is going to pick up after 2 a.m. It's going to pick up. People are going to come in, and it's just really hard to keep a good mentality throughout the entire night and every single night that you're there. So that's one of the hardest things. What does your man think about you stripping? So I probably want to do a separate video on this just because I don't want to sit here and explain how he feels, because I feel like I don't know, I don't think my words would really do it justice as to how he feels. So I'm gonna save that one for maybe another separate video where he could sit here and like defend his opinion and kind of defend like himself and what he thinks. But long story short, he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it, which is completely understandable. But I, on the other hand, I don't think it's a problem at all. And so that's why it's hard to, you know, it's a little bit difficult. But he said, I'm not going to stop you from doing this. It's what you want to do, so I'm going to let you do it. But he doesn't like it, which again is understandable. But really quickly, I would just like to say that I let him go to the club. While I was working there, I would always like text him and be like, come to the club, like come hang out, get a couple of drinks, get some dances, talk to girls, like whatever. Like I would always tell him to come, and I feel like if I'm okay with him doing that, he should be okay with me working. Like I get it, I'm talking to people, like guys, I'm giving guys dances, they're watching me on stage, they're tipping me. But for me, it was all a work mentality. I would go in and I'm like, this is work. I would talk to people to try to get their money. I would give dances, I would try to sell more dances to get their money. Like never did I ever feel a personal, an emotional, like any kind of relationship with those customers. For me, it was strictly business. And that's what's hard to tell him, because he just sees me dancing on someone. He just sees me smiling and listening to this person and laughing at their jokes, and that's all he sees. But to me, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, laugh at his jokes, he's gonna like that, he's gonna like get dances with you, he's gonna give me his money. So it's really hard for him to understand how I feel, but I think it's also hard for me to understand how he feels. So again, I'll probably do a whole video on just us talking about, you know, our opinion on this subject, but he does not like it, and that's all I'm gonna say. What did you like about the club, and what did you hate? So if you guys didn't know, I love dancing. I am a performer. 100% love performing. It doesn't matter where I am or what, but if I have an audience and I'm up there and I'm the one everybody's watching, I absolutely love that. So when I would go on stage, a lot of people hated doing that, but I would go up there and I would enjoy the fuck out of myself. I would go up there, I would dance. I couldn't do pole tricks. I don't know how, but I would go up there, I would do floor work, I would perform, and that's the number one thing that I absolutely loved. I felt like a star, especially when I was on stage and people are sitting far away, like they have booths that are all against the walls of the club. People from those booths where they're perfectly comfortable, they have their bottle there, they have their people there, they have like their friends, they have sometimes like other dancers sitting with them. They would stand up, walk all the way to the main stage just to stand there and watch me perform. That was the best feeling ever. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, thank you so much. And then they would throw their money, especially when like guys would come and just take their like a whole stack of ones that they just got, and then they would just go throw them up in the air, and it's literally raining dollar bills. Like that was the best feeling ever. I felt like it would bring so much attention. I don't know, being up there, I felt amazing. It was the best, most exhilarating feeling in the world. And then, oh, what did I hate about stripping? Okay, so you know how I said sometimes people would stand up from where they're at and walk to the stage? So there's tables and chairs right there, like right up against the stage. Sometimes they would be empty, so the people that came from another direction, they would come and then they would sit right down right there, like on those closer tables, and then they would tip. Sometimes the floor hosts would be saving those for other people who were coming in so that they could seat them there. It would make me so mad. I absolutely hated it. I felt like sometimes the floor host low-key like screwed me over on making money. So people would come, they would sit down, they'd start tipping me, and the floor host would come and be like, hey, like you can't sit there, I'm sorry. And so the people would be like, oh, okay. So they'd stand up and like leave, like go back to their table. I just felt like, what are you doing? Like they were tipping, like think about it, I'm making money. At the end of the night, I tip you, like you're making money off of me. So I felt like it wasn't smart of them to tell them to move if they're tipping money. Like, I don't know. I just feel like they should have waited until that person was finished, because I'm sure that person would have like got up and went back to their booth or whatever. I absolutely hated that so much, but it is what it is. Do you have any tips on making money? So I would say when girls were on stage, so many of them would be up there and like, okay, so say this is a pole right here. Like they're dancing on it and their face, it's blank, it's dead. They're not looking at anyone. They're just like going on the ground, twerking, and their face is like, and I'm surprised as to how many girls did that. Like I said, not a lot of girls loved doing main stage, but honestly, I felt like it was one of the best ways that I made money. So when I was up there, although I loved doing it, so I'm smiling, like having a good time, making eye contact with people, like, you know, giving them little like flirty giggles and flirty laughs and whatnot. People loved seeing that. People loved that. And a lot of times after I came down from stage, they would come up to me and say like, hey, can I get some dances from you? And I was like, yeah. Like I didn't even have to work for it. They just would come up to me and personally ask for lap dances. So that just says a lot as to when you're doing stage, they like to see you having fun. And even one of the girls, like, I don't know who she was, like a dancer, we started talking and she was like, oh, she's like, you're the girl who smiles on stage. And I was like, yeah, like that's me. She was like, oh, I love watching you, like you're so good up there, like you look like you're having so much fun. And I'm like, well, I mean, I am having fun up there, but like, yes, exactly, like this girl right here, not a man, not a customer, this dancer right here enjoys watching me on stage. Why? Because I'm smiling, I'm having a good time, like I look like I'm fun up there, you know? So that just goes to show how big of a difference it makes when you're smiling. Another tip, pole tricks. I really don't think they're necessary. So a lot of girls that would do pole tricks up there, I would watch them and I'm like, wow, they're amazing. What they're doing up there is insane, but no one's tipping. A ton of guys are out on floor, so many customers in the strip club, and no one is tipping. I'm like, why aren't they tipping? I feel like guys don't appreciate pole tricks as much as a girl would. Not everyone, I'm not saying everyone is like that, but sometimes I would see girls that would come into the club. It's like 4 or 5 of them, like a group of girls, or it looks like they're having a girls' night, they're having fun and they're wanting to tip the dancers, but I noticed they were always tipping the girls who were doing pole tricks. Because as like a girl watching another girl, you're like, wow, like she's amazing, look what she can do, like the strength, the flexibility that it takes to do that, like that's amazing, like here, take my money, props to you, like you go girl. Whereas with guys, they're not gonna be like that. No, they're there for like a different reason. They're there to watch, you know. So I noticed that when I would go up there, I'm on the ground, I'm twerking, I'm shaking my booty. I felt so bad, but I'm literally doing nothing. I'm like laying on the floor, and I mean, I'm smiling and having a good time, but I'm literally shaking my butt, and people would walk up to the stage and be like, boom, 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 like throwing their money at me. They want to see your booty shake. Like that's all they care about. I know it's stupid. That's when they're really gonna throw their money. But like I said, there are girls who would appreciate that, and they did tip when girls were doing crazy pole tricks. I guess the only time I would recommend doing pole tricks is to draw some attention towards you. Don't do pole tricks the whole time, just enough to like catch people's attention and watch you. Another tip that I have is, when I first started, I literally YouTubed and Googled like how to do like stage. So I looked it up, and a lot of the videos were saying to dance slow, like take your time, pace yourself. I didn't think it always helped. So let's say it was a Saturday night, it's a full house, it's packed, the club, like there's money, constant money being worked, okay? If you're on stage, people are watching you and you're just like, you know, like slow, like dancing in front of them. The people are right there on the edge of the stage watching them, and then I feel like the slow of their dancing would keep the money coming slowly. Like the guys would be like throw a couple of dollars, stand there, watch, smile, wait like a really long period of time before they put some more money down. And what I noticed was, when I'm there, I'm telling you, the more movement you're doing and putting out there, that's the kind of energy the customer is gonna give you with their money. So like I said, I'm up, down, bounce, bounce, forward, twerk, twerk. Like a lot of the videos said that like you're gonna get really tired really fast and you're gonna like be out of breath and stuff, which yes, but the more and more you do it, like you're gonna build your stamina. Like me dancing quickly and like being up, down, floor, you know, standing up again, like eventually I got used to that and I was able to just do that and be okay. So you are gonna build your stamina if you're dancing quickly all the time. Like you'll get used to it. Now there is a point in time where dancing slowly and keeping like a good pace and everything is a good idea, and that would be towards the beginning of the night when it's just getting started. It would be 9 p.m. There's like one person on this end of the stage and then one more on this side. You're the only one on stage. They're not really like paying attention. They're kind of just chilling. They're not really tipping. I still have a long night ahead of me. I'm not gonna waste my energy right now, because then when it gets to like 2 a.m. it's like I'm gonna be completely exhausted for what? Because I put all my energy into the beginning of the night where there was no people tipping. So that's when it's a good idea to dance slowly and sensual, and you know, that's the only time where I feel like it's appropriate. So I guess another tip that I had, well, this kind of just goes along with what I was saying earlier about your stage performance. You want to be giving 150% all the time. You want to be up there and execute the entire time that you're on stage, because not only for the people that are sitting right here watching you, but like I said earlier, there's booths all along the club, like farther away from the stage, all along the back wall. So they're watching you too. Although you can't see them, they're watching, I promise. And you want to be giving some high, like crazy, like 150% level energy. So if you're being small and slow and seductive and moving really, really slowly, they're far away. To them, that looks like nothing. It looks like you're doing absolutely nothing. So again, you want to be drawing attention to yourself from far away. So you got to look big, you got to look crazy. Okay, so it is time to count all the money now. So honestly, I have probably so much more to say about the club. If you guys have any more questions or anything else you wanted to know, please leave a comment down below. And if it's like a really good subject that kind of needs a little bit more dissecting of it, then I will probably make a whole video on it. But it's just like a simple question, then I will answer it for you. This is literally like the fattest stack of 20s that I've ever held in my entire life. Okay, so here's 1,000. Here's another stack of 1,000. Okay, sorry, I put my hair up because I feel like it's getting in my way. We still have this much more to go. Another 1,000. Okay, another 1,000. 7, 8, 9,000. All right, not that many left. Okay, so here are my stacks of 1,000. Let me move these over. And this one. Then these are stacks of 100. So, okay, so this is all 3,500. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000. This is a stack of 25. This $5 bill would make it 30. And then, let's see, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. So finally, the grand total is $10,541. Honestly, I can't even wrap my mind around this. I didn't think it was going to be this much. I honestly thought it was going to be like 2 to 3, maybe 4,000 if I was lucky. But yeah, I don't even know what to say. I feel like I just need to wrap up the video now, but I don't want to. I just have 0 words. I don't know what to say. If you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know, and I will do more like this in the future. It's the only way that I know that what I'm putting out is actually good content. I appreciate you guys so much. I hope that I have more videos like this in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.